Talks. It's your girl Ken, and I'm here with another chat, another tea time, another like just homegirl to homegirl conversation. So let's get into it. So the first card I pulled was Judgment, and like every time I think of this card, I'm just like, yo, like what is it like? And on the Judgment card, right? Like, um, it's a man in white, and he's bestowing something on somebody's crown, right? And when I think about that, what I normally think about is like your ancestors, your spirit guides. They're trying to see if you know they can really bless you with something. Because I always tell people like, you know, you can manifest all day, you can pray all day, you can do all these things, right? But if you're not putting the action in to like become that or to get that, then it's like you're kind of working against the universe, because the universe is going to bring you what energy you are in, what actions that they are seeing. I always say the universe is God's ears, right? God's eyes. Like, the universe sees everything that you do and every move that you make, right? So you can't sit here and say you want a husband, right, when you messing around with a sneaky link. It don't work like that. Like, your actions have to match up with your manifestations, right? And you can probably have a really hard time with discipline, with structure here, Virgo. At the top of the deck, Virgos are very, in a sense, they're very structured. Earth signs are very structured, very like this X, Y, and Z. They're going to go get it done here. They're going to figure out a plan A, B, C, D, just in case plan A doesn't work. And you have to realize that, like, for you to get exactly what you want, for you to stand in the wealth that's already yours, you have to work and go towards it. You have to go get it here. You are the prototype here. You are, you know, one of one. You're not a copy of the next person. You are uniquely you. So you have to realize that only you can bring you to where you're at here. You are the star here. Aquarius energy is very important at this time. You can probably be in a very creative space, or you can be in a space of where it's just like you have all these ideas and you don't really know which way to go with them. You can be, crossroads. Okay, so you're standing at a crossroad. I see a crossroad. Um, I see a crossroad. I also see an X too as well. Maybe you feel like you missed something, or maybe you can feel like just something is a denial right now. I actually do have missed opportunity here. And I feel like maybe this can be in love here. I'm seeing red. But God is saying just be alone for a minute right now and develop your craft, develop you, get to know you a little bit better. And I know it's just like, damn, Ken, like I've been doing that. Like, can I get, something a little bit more? But sometimes, um, patience, God's timing, divine timing here. Um, it might be going slow to you, but in the spiritual realm, or in God's eyes, like you're right on track. You're exactly where you need to be. So be patient with yourself. Know that you have people to lean on. Sacred circle here, your ancestors, your spirit team, they're here. Queen's Council, like, go to your elders, go to women, people that have already experienced, your phase in life. That's so important. Just because I know that, being alone can sometimes cause you to be lonely. It's lonely at the top. And sometimes, that can pull you, just, feeling that type of way, feeling stagnant, can kind of pull you from the direction of what you need to be, and can kind of have you almost like looking behind you and trying to figure out, should I really move forward, because I'm not seeing any growth. I'm not seeing, you know, what was promised to me. And it's so crazy because I tell people, People are always surprised that I go to church. And I'm like, I don't go to church because I'm a Christian. I go to church so I can hear God's word, because I'm a firm believer that, God can give you a message in any time frame, it can be at 2 o'clock in the morning at a strip club and somebody comes and sits and talks to you and it's something that you need to hear. It can be a random person at the grocery store. It can be somebody on the street. It could be literally a teacher. It could literally be just like you and your siblings just having a random ass conversation, and something that they say triggers an emotion out of you. So, it could be a pastor, like I said, or it could be a fucking counselor. It just depends on where God wants you to hear the message, and where you are in life, and if that message fits you at that time frame here. But know that, all those external factors, all those external people are okay, but when you go within yourself, when you sit with yourself, you see how powerful vulnerability is within yourself. You see how bad of a bitch that you are, because now you are sitting with yourself, you're learning yourself, you, which gives you so much more power and strength compared to the motherfucker who doesn't know their worth, who doesn't know their value, who depends on external validation to make them feel better about themselves here. You have to know that you are it. You are a 10 out of 10, and would highly recommend, regardless of where you feel, regardless if you feel stuck. And if you feel stuck, just pray, boo. Pray. Talk to your spirit team, talk to your ancestors, and just be like, hey, like, I don't fucking know. Like, it's okay not to fucking know. It's okay to just to be like, okay, like, I need guidance here. And also talk to your higher self too. It's very important. And I always remember this lady talking on TikTok, and she was saying you have to move and make decisions based off what your higher self will do. And that will just open up so many tunnels, open up so many doors for you, because when you start moving like your best self, because that's what your higher self is, when you start moving like them, then that's what you become. And you are becoming somebody, and you have to realize that that shit is not a walking apart. You have to realize that life is not going to just be as easy as these social media people make it seem like. Oh, I went on a healing journey and it's crystals and it's meditation and it's love and light. No, the shadow is you too. You got to work with that motherfucker too. You have to work with the things that you dislike about yourself, the shit that keeps you up at night, the triggers. You have to, understand the avoidance. You have to understand all of you, and all of you is not love and light. Yin and yang is in every human being. The sweetest motherfucker has the darkest fucking side. I'm gonna tell you that now. Remember, people always say it's the quiet ones. It's the ones that, like, you least expect it. The motherfuckers that when they raise up, it's all motherfucking hell, right? So you have a side that's not sure. You have a side that's angry. You have a side that's miserable, that's depressed. You have all these angles about yourself, and you have to dive into these angles so you can better understand yourself. And when you do that, you don't feel so stagnant. You don't feel like you're losing out on opportunities here, because you're not. The waiting room. The pastor was talking about the waiting room here. And he was saying, just because you're in a waiting room doesn't mean that God has forgotten about you. You're in the room. You're there. You're exactly where you need to be. It's just your number hasn't been called. So you have to be mindful. Just because it's not moving how you want it to move does not mean that it's not for you here. I got the Empress, and I got Empress energy. Like, you are really hurt, but you need to see it here. 33333 2020. To have 2020 vision about your goals, your mindset, what you want out of this year, what you want out of yourself. This ain't no just basic, New Year's resolution type shit. Like, no, what do you want from yourself? And then it's okay. You have to have the discipline and the structure to obtain it. That is something that I am working on myself. Discipline, structure, being consistent with yourself, being loyal to yourself. You know, when you think about the traits of the people that you want around you, do you bestow those traits on yourself? Do you take time to actually give yourself what you're seeking from others here? A snake, you know, transitioning, pivoting, shedding old skin, becoming a new you, becoming somebody completely different. Yeah, I think you kind of you're seeing it yourself, like certain shit you just don't fuck with, certain music you don't listen to, a certain sense of people, places, and things don't resonate with you no more. You're elevating here, and it's weird because it's like you kind of just don't have control of it, and you're just kind of sitting here like, you know, what's really fucking going on, like, you know, but you have to have faith. And you have to forgive yourself. So forgiveness is so important here as well. You know, I've made those mistakes. They've hurt me. And I'm so funny because I was talking to a homegirl of mine about Insecure Issa. And I rewatch it, right? And I'm rewatching it now in my 30s. And I'm just like, you know, half the shit that happened to Issa could have been avoided if she just would have did X, Y, and Z. You know, if she would have just handled her own shit. Like, if she would have just broke up with Lawrence when he didn't want to do anything, instead of, you know, having these years of just bitterness and angerness, and then it causes you to go cheat and then blow up the relationship and hurt somebody that you truly do love. And if Issa loved herself a little bit more, she would have exited that relationship when things weren't where she needed them to be. 17 on the clock here. So there's a lot of stuff that I feel like you have gone through in your past, right, that you have ultimately probably just blamed yourself for, right? And then like you just push it down. Like I just see like stuff being just pushed down to like the lowest level, and now it's just like it's erupting and it's coming to the surface. And it doesn't have to be in like no crazy, like mean, harsh, disrespectful way. You don't have to be going through chaos, but you're going through uncomfortability right now. And it's just like and it's uncomfortable, and it's just like, okay, like what do I do with this information? And you have to sit with it, love. You have to sit with it, and you have to remember that you are rebuilding yourself, and that shit is not a cakewalk. So I need you to, one, give yourself grace. I need you to lean on the people that have your best interests, your spirit team, your ancestors, people here on the physical realm that you trust, right? And ask for protection, because we are going through a very difficult time and a very crazy time, and we have these people in leadership that's just like, fuck it, we ball, and we're just like, hold the fuck on, you know. So that, and just, you know, continue to water yourself, continue to spark your interest, continue to do things that are out of the normal for you, because when you start doing those things, that's when those manifestations can occur. That's when those blockages get removed away. Remember, you are a goddess, and you are waking up to yourself, and that's not an easy journey, love. It's not. Cheetahs can be significant here. A golden aura, gold, red, roses. Love yourself down. Have passion for your goals. Have passions for yourself. Writing can be significant. Meditation. All I can say is, boo, you got this, and just keep going, keep hustling, keep fighting for yourself, because that's the most important thing. You are going to be your biggest fan, and don't nobody got to deal with you but you. So just be mindful of that, okay? Happy healing, my love.